Hello and welcome. Have you ever been curious about data but maybe felt a little unsure of where to even begin? If so, this is exactly for you. Today, we're going to learn the most important skill of all, how to think like an analyst. And I promise you, it's much, much simpler than you might think. Let's get started. And please, always remember this. Every single expert you admire today, they started in the exact same place you are right now. They were not born with some special skill. No. They were just curious, maybe a little confused, but they were willing to learn. Your curiosity is the perfect place to start. Now, to understand this properly, we're not going to use any complex business examples. No, not at all. Instead, we'll look at a very simple story about a cafe owner. I think this example will make the whole concept very, very clear for you. So here is the problem. Let's meet Rahul. He owns a cafe, and he sees that his sales have suddenly dropped by 30%. Now, what is the first reaction for most of us? We start guessing, right? Oh, maybe the food quality is bad. Or, perhaps the prices are too high. This is just guessing, and this is not analysis.
You see, an analyst doesn't guess. An analyst follows a structured process, and it has 3 very simple steps. First, they ask specific, targeted questions. Second, they check the data to find the actual facts. And third, they connect that data to a real business solution.
So Rahul decides to check his data, and what he finds is, well, it's very interesting. He discovers that a huge 70% of his customers are students. Now this is a key clue. It's a clue that just guessing would have completely missed.
And this one single clue explains everything. The sales dropped at the exact same time the local college exams began. So you see, the problem wasn't his food or his prices or anything like that. It was just a temporary, seasonal change. The solution is not to panic, but to adapt to the situation.
That simple story really shows us the analyst's mindset in action. Now let's formalize this a little bit. I want you to think of these next 3 questions as your very own mental toolkit. You can use this for any problem you face, whether it's at work or even in your personal life. The very first question is always the simplest one. It's our starting point. You must first state the facts very, very clearly. So you simply ask, what happened? In the world of data, this is called descriptive analysis. It just describes the situation using the data. No opinions, no feelings, no guesses. Just a plain fact. So for Rahul, the answer was sales dropped 30%. That's it, a clear factual starting point. Okay, so once you know what happened, the next logical question is, of course, why did it happen? This is where the real investigation begins. And this step is called diagnostic analysis. Think of the word diagnostic. It's like a doctor trying to find the cause of a sickness, right? You are finding the root cause behind the number. For Rahul, the why was simple, because it was exam season and my main customers, the students, were busy studying. And now we come to the final, and I think the most important question. We know what happened. We know why it happened. So the crucial point is, what should we do about it? How do we take action? This final step is called prescriptive analysis. Prescription. Again, just like when a doctor gives you medicine, you are recommending a specific solution based on your diagnosis. So Rahul's prescription was, let's launch some study special offers to attract students during their exams. Do you see? The data leads directly to a clear, smart action plan. So let's just pause and be really clear about the main difference here. We are talking about 2 completely different mindsets. Thinking with facts versus just plain guessing. It's about using evidence over assumptions. Just look at this comparison. Normal thinking says, I think customers prefer the red color. But data thinking says, the data proves that red products sold 40% more. Normal thinking might say, oh, we should just advertise more. But data thinking asks, wait, first, let's test our different ads to see which one actually works. The difference is always about evidence. And this brings us to a really important point. Just having the data is not enough. You absolutely must connect it to a real-world problem. The final goal is always, always to find a solution. Let me show you what I mean. A weak analyst just reports a fact. They might say, our Instagram followers dropped by 500. Okay, but so what? What do we do with that information? A strong analyst, however, provides a solution. They'll say, our followers dropped right after we stopped posting reels. My recommendation is to resume daily reels at 7 p.m. to fix this. You see the difference? The first one reports a problem. The second one solves. And please, if you take away only one thing today, let it be this. All the software like Excel or Python or Tableau, they are just tools. They are helpers, that's all. The real value, the real magic, is your thinking. Your ability to ask these questions and find solutions, that is your real superpower.
So right about now, you might be thinking, this all sounds good, but how can I actually start practicing this way of thinking? Well, the good news is, today you have a very powerful learning assistant at your fingertips. Let's see how you can begin immediately.
You can use generative AI tools to help you think like an analyst. For example, you can give it a problem, like, my website traffic is high, but my sales are low. Why could this be? You can ask it to suggest good questions for you to investigate. You can even complete an analysis and ask it to review your work, as if it were a senior analyst. It's like having your own personal tutor available 24/7.
So, as we conclude, I want you to understand that data analytics is really a journey. It's a simple path that starts with curiosity about why things are the way they are. That curiosity then leads you to find clarity in the data, and that clarity is what empowers you to take meaningful action. So, what is your next step? I have a very simple task for you. Just open a notebook or an Excel sheet, pick one simple thing you are curious about. It could be your daily expenses or how much time you spend studying. Just track it for 1 week. This small act of collecting data, that is how every single analyst's journey begins. Your journey starts today.